Hi all, my name is Alan Sunny and I'm a student of Newalls, Kochi. Now, Speak for India was a very exciting journey. I got the opportunity to meet a lot of people from different streams and different debating styles. That was really a great advantage. I mean, mine perhaps was a more narrowed style of debating. Now, after coming here, I found like best students from different streams with different perspectives. Now, I always used to think from a legal perspective, being a law student, but now it gave me kind of an exposure that, no, it is not. Every stream has got its own way of expression, and that really, increased my experience value, and this is something that I'll definitely cherish, even if I won't be making it to the finals. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Alan. Now, Bryan, please introduce yourself and share your experience.
Good day. My name is Bryan Beena Johnson. I'm from TKM College Engineering, third year mechanical student. My experience with Speak for India calibration was, the past 3 years I'm participating in the competition, and every year it's been a booster of my confidence, because every year new mistakes were made and they were corrected by the judges, and every year I learned something new. It's a new experience, and I will cherish the experience all through my life, and I believe that this is one of the biggest platforms I got till now to express my thoughts and my views, and I hope that in the future too many more students will get such a huge platform to speak out the words.
All right, so Alan, this is your first time, right?
This is my first time.
And this is your third time.
Yeah.
All right, so all the best to both of you. You both get 1 minute each. And Alan, we'll start with you. Your time starts now.
I have 6 main arguments to substantiate that mere life experience and street madness would not do as for a political candidate today. First argument. Now, decisions being made today actually involves a lot of technical aspects, which was not there in the earlier times, which require technical expertise or ability to think from a technical angle or analyze expert reports submitted by expert parties, which definitely require an educated mind. Second, to speak in an educated, politically correct manner, to give your politically correct opinions, you have to be educated. Otherwise, there is a heavy possibility of you making racist comments, sexist comments, which as a politician, which is highly not the quality of a politician. Third, your primary responsibility in making laws actually includes debating in legislature, which actually requires your ability to comprehend what the other party is telling, and also in the upper legislatures, your ability to comprehend in English language, because the translator there is, you don't have regional language translation.
All right, Alan. Now, Bryan, your time starts now.
Knowledge gained through experience is far superior and many times more useful than bookish knowledge. Mahatma Gandhi. The political intelligence of someone does not depend upon a degree, but on his political achievements. Political knowledge matters a lot more than attaining an academic one. If you're able to communicate with the common man in their own language, understand and solve their problems and issues, that's more than enough for you to become a good, capable leader. The perfect example of a good politician, but uneducated, is Mr. Kamaraj. The previous president of All India Congress was also known as a kingmaker, because he was the one who used to pull the strings in the background and during the most turbulent times India went through. In a global perspective, Abraham Lincoln was the greatest American president, never had formal education. A politician should have the qualities such as honesty, hardworking, sincerity, and strong leadership skills. You get them through practical experience and not by academic experience. We understand the highly educated politicians such as Mr. A. Raja is also one of the most corrupt leaders who were involved in the 2G scam. I will conclude by quoting Swami Vivekanandan. A political knowledge can only be got in one way, the way of experience. There's no other way to know.
Okay, now you have 3 minutes to debate on this topic. Your time starts now.
First persuasive argument, especially in areas of technical nature. For example, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Law, you actually can't afford to have an uneducated person, because it involves day-to-day discussion of nitty-gritties and extremely technical matters concerned with relevant to the particular area. Here, you need to have an educated person who can appreciate the suggestions made by the secretaries, the cabinet ministers, and the challenging needs of society. Therefore, education is a parameter which cannot be waived, especially in these kinds of areas as such.
Okay, Alan says education is necessary for technicalities.
I'm not against education, but the fact is that, example of the Achyuta Menon ministry, back then Achyuta Menon was a matriculate. He was a first rank holder doing the degree study. At the same time, in his ministry, there was a person called Kathirodu Kunyambu. He was a 4th grade dropout, the Minister of Forestry. So both these ministers, uneducated and educated, worked together. They had a political leadership was so strong that they could lead our state into much more progress, even though they had educated and uneducated persons, same political bench.
No, even if you have a very good heart and you can actually associate with people, unfortunately, the challenges of today's society presents you an opportunity to be educated. Why? Because today, with the help of globalization, you are forced to make, intergovernmental negotiations with different countries. Even a lower minister or an MP is forced to do so. Now, you can't afford to be uneducated and can't take the opportunity of not being articulate about what you have to communicate them and thereby sustain a huge loss to the country.
All right.
Therefore, it is
In our
mandatory.
country,
Right.
in our country, the law goes as far to say that all children must be educated at the age of 14. So do you think that 14 is the age bar that's needed for a good political? Because I don't think so. A political is one who makes decisions all around the country, and 14 is not enough. So what, according to you, is the age limit, is the education that a person needs to be a political leader?
I'm sorry, the debate is actually not about age limit. The debate is actually about education qualification.
Yeah, 14
My
years of
perspective
education qualification is what I was
actually
talking about.
You can't afford to have a single fit size for everyone. Now, the level of education expected from an MLA is not a level of education expected from a minister, and it is not the same expected from a minister or who handles with finance or IT. Now, it should actually cater to that. We need to have a political discussion accordingly. Now, second argument, only an educated person can afford to be creative. Now, otherwise, the decisions usually involves mundane decisions, which naturally comes of common sense. Only when you have the technical knowledge, you can
okay,
explore
but
We
ideas and
understand that
actually
we
make-
are a representative democracy. We are one of the largest democracies in the world, and that means that we are people from all different caste, religion, and creed in our democracy. And when that means we need to make political decisions that are involving all these people together. And for that reason, we need people from all the different fields, and they may not be educated, but they will be good political leaders.
you are talking about the right of a person to get elected. But I am talking about a right of person to have good politicians, which is a much better right, and it has to be given much more.
All right,
persuasive
3
than a
minutes
suffrage.
up. Now, time for judges' question. We'll start with Alan.
Yes.
Alan, there are different education qualifications for different chief ministers across India. For example, Delhi is ruled by an IITian, and in Kerala, a graduate is ruling the state. A graduate from social science is ruling the state. And where will you fix the minimum educational qualification required for becoming a politician in India? What will be that? Is it a matriculation? Is it +2? Or is it the graduation?
A single size fit for everyone is definitely not the right answer. A qualification for a MLA can actually be based of minimum English language and ability to comprehend, and +2 education is sufficient for him. Now, whereas in the case of a finance minister, a basic degree education which involves the concepts of economics is definitely acceptable. In the case of a law department, definitely legal education is valid because you can actually associate the legal challenges regarding the policies and decisions that you have to make.
Time's up. Now, Bryan.
See, you know that the prime ministers in India are surrounded by people who have very good education. They have education to the best. So to deal with them is a job, a trick, and you should handle the situation in a very, thoughtful manner. How can a prime minister or how can a politician in such a situation survive and can take decisions true to his mind and true to the nation?
Hold on, Bryan, your time starts now.
I'd like to answer your question with an example, because back in the time of USSR, under the Gusher government, there was a letter sent to our Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru regarding the Bilal steel plant. So the IAS officers, the learned people, could not solve the problem how it should be placed and how the area should be constructed. But back at the time, a person, Mr. M.K. Nair, he was a one uneducated person who was involved and in charge of the whole project, and he was able to solve the problems the IAS officers couldn't solve. So it's practical experience that made and helped him solve such a problem.
All right, thank you so much, Alan and Bryan. Thank you so much.